Warning, your legs fade first. Seniors must eat these three foods to keep them strong and healthy. Have you ever observed the subtle yet undeniable shift in your physical capabilities as the years accumulate? Specifically noticing a feeling of lessened stability or perhaps a touch more hesitancy in your stride? It is a common, almost universal experience to find that our legs, the very pillars supporting our daily mobility and the crucial independence we cherish, often exhibit the earliest telltale signs of the aging process. Without conscious, proactive attention, this natural tendency towards muscular weakening can accelerate far more rapidly than we might anticipate, potentially leading to significant limitations in our daily lives. However, it is vital to understand that combating this trend does not necessitate embarking on grueling, expensive, or overly complicated fitness regimens. A significant, scientifically supported pathway to maintaining robust, healthy legs lies surprisingly close to home, within the very food choices we make every single day. This comprehensive exploration delves deep into the evidence-based strategies for fortifying your lower body strength and preserving crucial mobility, irrespective of the number of candles on your last birthday cake. We are setting out to uncover the trio of absolutely essential dietary components that every individual navigating their senior years should prioritize integrating into their daily consumption habits. The consistent intake of these specific food groups is powerfully positioned to counteract age-related muscle atrophy, soothe the discomfort associated with aging joints, and significantly bolster overall bodily equilibrium, thereby reducing the risk of serious health concerns such as sarcopenia, the insidious loss of muscle mass, and osteoporosis, both of which pose substantial threats to the continuation of self-sufficiency. If you find the insights shared here valuable and resonant with your goals for healthy longevity, I strongly encourage you to engage with our community by subscribing to this channel and ensuring you activate the notification bell. Missing out on future installments could mean overlooking equally critical information tailored for optimal aging. Your continued engagement through likes and shares serves as a profound affirmation that fuels the commitment to producing and disseminating more of this valuable, life-enhancing knowledge. To help me tailor future content precisely to your needs, I invite you to offer immediate feedback. If the subject matter of this presentation resonates positively with your interests, please share your sentiment by commenting the number 1. Conversely, if the topic misses the mark or you have suggestions for improvement, please use the number 0. Your input is instrumental in refining the quality and relevance of the material presented here. Now, let us commence this vital journey into nutritional science, starting with the first cornerstone of leg strength. Food number 1, protein-rich foods. As we gracefully navigate the arc of our later years, one of the most paramount, yet regrettably common, oversights in maintaining robust health is the inadequate focus on proper sustenance, specifically the intake of high-quality protein. Protein transcends the simple definition of a macronutrient. It is, in essence, the structural scaffold upon which the maintenance, repair, and regeneration of our muscular framework depend. It functions as the invisible, yet absolutely indispensable biological thread that weaves together our physical selves, enabling us to move through the world with inherent strength and enduring vitality. To grasp its significance, consider protein as the foundational concrete poured for a skyscraper. Without an adequate, continuous supply, the entire edifice of our physical strength becomes susceptible to structural failure. For older adults, particularly those entering or established within their 60s and beyond, the necessity of ensuring consistent and sufficient delivery of this essential building block becomes exponentially more critical. Our muscles exist in a perpetual state of dynamic flux. They are constantly undergoing microscopic breakdown and subsequent rebuilding processes. Protein plays the definitive, non-negotiable role in facilitating both the repair of damaged fibers and the growth of new tissue. Every single movement we execute, the simple act of rising from a chair, the deliberate motion of walking across a room, the sustained effort of climbing a flight of stairs, or the leisurely pace of a park stroll, demands functional, well-nourished leg muscles. These muscles bear the entirety of our physical load and dictate the ease with which we perform fundamental daily tasks. tasks. Tragically, as the biological clock advances, our body's innate efficiency in maintaining pre-existing muscle mass begins a natural, albeit often subtle, decline. This progressive, age-associated deterioration of muscle tissue is formally termed sarcopenia, and it is a physiological reality that a significant portion of the aging population confronts. The realization of this progressive weakness can be disheartening, often manifesting as increased general fatigue, a noticeable slowing of pace, and a struggle with tasks that previously required minimal conscious effort. Yet, it is crucial to firmly grasp this truth. This downward trajectory is not an unchangeable fate. With a judicious and proactive approach to nutrition, centered specifically on consistent protein consumption, we possess the power to substantially decelerate the visible markers of muscular aging and, in many cases, actively reverse some of the accumulated deficit. Protein is the master key capable of unlocking and securing the door to muscle mass retention, which directly translates to the preservation of independent mobility. Envision for a moment the sheer liberation of navigating your days endowed with the inherent strength and unshakable confidence that stems directly from diligently nourishing your physical structure. Protein ensures that the musculature supporting your legs, and indeed your entire body, remains powerfully functional, capable, and ready to carry you faithfully throughout the duration of your active life. When considering the practical application of this knowledge, that is, selecting protein-rich provisions, the landscape of options is remarkably broad and accommodating to diverse palates and dietary philosophies, whether one adheres to a carnivorous, vegetarian, or vegan lifestyle. For those who happily consume animal products, lean sources such as skinless poultry, chicken and turkey, and high-quality lean beef provide exemplary, easily assimilated reservoirs of high-caliber protein. These meats are richly endowed with the specific amino acids, the fundamental building blocks that muscles require to execute their necessary repair cycles following any form of physical exertion. However, the nutritional benefits do not cease with poultry and red meat. We must highlight the exceptional contributions of fish. Fatty fish, including beloved varieties like salmon, mackerel, and tuna, stand out not only for their substantial protein content, but also for being superb carriers of crucial omega-3 fatty acids. These beneficial fats are extraordinarily advantageous for the complex architecture of our joints. As we age, the stress on our joint structures intensifies, making them desperately in need of all available support. Omega-3s exert a profound influence by helping to mitigate systemic inflammation and supporting the necessary lubrication within the joint capsules, a factor critical for sustaining comfortable mobility and reducing chronic aches throughout one's later years. Furthermore, let us not overlook the unassuming but mighty egg, a foodstuff that has rightfully maintained its status as a dietary cornerstone for centuries. Eggs are, quite literally, a nutritional goldmine, densely packed with every essential amino acid, alongside a suite of vital vitamins and minerals, all contributing directly to the processes of muscle repair and synthesis. Adding to their appeal, eggs are perhaps one of the most versatile ingredients in the culinary world, easily integrated into almost any meal structure. It is imperative to continually reinforce the understanding that protein adequacy is the bedrock of maintaining robust leg strength. Insufficient protein translates directly into a lack of necessary fuel for muscle maintenance, inevitably leading to the gradual erosion of muscle mass, which is felt most acutely in the powerful musculature of the legs. These leg muscles are our primary stabilizers. They manage our entire body weight and are indispensable for the execution of nearly every movement required for daily living. When these foundational muscles weaken, even seemingly simple acts like attaining a standing posture or taking a few steps can become exercises fraught with effort or even pain. Regrettably, a vast number of individuals fail to appreciate the gravity of protein deficiency in this context until they are already experiencing the frustrating reality of noticeable muscle loss. This is precisely where the dedicated inclusion of protein assumes its critical therapeutic role. Scientific investigation consistently demonstrates that a diet intentionally abundant in high-quality protein can effectively serve as a preventive measure against sarcopenia, significantly lowering the incidence of balance-related falls and contributing substantially to an improved overall functional capacity. Ensuring you achieve your required protein benchmark every single 24-hour period stands as one of the most potent, non-pharmacological interventions available for preserving muscle mass and, by direct extension, safeguarding your cherished independence as you advance in age. For those asking themselves how to seamlessly integrate more protein into their existing dietary patterns, rest assured the path is far simpler than one might imagine. A highly effective foundational strategy involves consciously adding a recognized source of high-quality protein to every single meal you consume. For the morning repast, consider commencing the day with 2 or 3 expertly prepared eggs, perhaps fashioned into an omelet and enriched with a colorful medley of vegetables, thereby simultaneously securing protein and beneficial fiber. Midday, for lunch, look toward a substantial, protein-fortified salad, perhaps adorned with slices of perfectly grilled chicken breast or flaky tuna, complemented by an array of vibrant, fresh vegetables. For the evening meal, treat yourself to a thoughtfully prepared portion of lean beef, or perhaps a deeply satisfying hearty lentil stew, both options delivering delicious flavor, significant satiety, and substantial protein density. Furthermore, the periods between main meals, the snack times, present excellent untapped opportunities to elevate your muscle-nourishing intake. A small serving of raw almonds, a single-serving container of Greek yogurt, or a carefully selected low-sugar protein bar can deliver that vital, readily available boost of nourishment your working muscles require before the next main course arrives. Should you encounter significant difficulty in consistently meeting your protein requirements solely through whole, unprocessed foods, exploring high-quality dietary supplements such as whey, casein, or plant-based protein powders becomes a reasonable consideration. Many modern protein supplements are specifically formulated with seniors in mind, often featuring added vitamins and minerals essential for comprehensive bone and joint support. These can be an incredibly convenient avenue for boosting intake, particularly if appetite or chewing difficulties impede the consumption of sufficient quantities in traditional meal settings. However, a crucial note of caution must be issued here. The selection of a supplement demands vigilance. Seek out reputable products that are scrupulously clean, meaning they are free from excessive added sugars, artificial sweeteners, colorings, and unnecessary chemical additives. After all, just as we endeavor to avoid filling our bodies with nutritionally void junk food, we must equally avoid polluting our system with low-grade, poorly manufactured supplements. Here is another tip, arguably more impactful than the quantity itself. Distributing your protein intake evenly across the day yields superior physiological results compared to consuming the majority in one large sitting. Your muscular system achieves peak absorption and utilization of amino acids when they are supplied in smaller, regular increments throughout your waking hours. Aim for a target range of approximately 20 to 30 grams of high-quality protein per meal. This roughly equates to the protein found in a portion of chicken roughly the size of your palm, 2 large eggs, or a generous cup of cooked beans or lentils. This strategic distribution ensures a continuous, steady infusion of necessary amino acids, which is the essential prerequisite for ongoing muscular repair and maintenance. For any individual uncertain about their precise, individualized daily protein requirement, there should be absolutely no hesitation in seeking personalized counsel from a registered dietitian or your primary healthcare provider. These professionals possess the expertise to calculate the optimal intake based on your unique physiological demands, current activity level, and pre-existing health conditions. There is zero inherent weakness in seeking expert guidance. Correctly identifying the precise nutritional balance your body requires is a fundamental and powerful aspect of achieving a long, vibrant, and healthy life. If you are still following this extensive presentation and are finding these layered nutritional insights genuinely beneficial, please take a moment to register your continued presence by commenting the number 1 below, signaling that you remain actively engaged with this dialogue. Crucially, however, it must be reiterated that protein, while foundational, is not the sole nutrient dictating the strength of your legs or the overall well-being of your aging body. It is merely one critical piece of a much larger interconnected puzzle. To genuinely flourish during your later decades, it is imperative to pair consistent protein intake with other vital nutritional allies, specifically high concentrations of omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins D and C, and the essential mineral magnesium. When these elements are consumed in concert, they generate a powerful biological synergy that comprehensively supports muscle integrity, optimal joint lubrication, robust bone mineralization, and overarching systemic vitality. Think of them as a high-performing athletic team, where each member works in coordinated fashion to ensure peak performance for the entire system. The most encouraging aspect of this entire discussion is the clear message. Regardless of your current habits, the opportunity to improve your nutritional foundation and reap significant benefits is always present. It is never too late to initiate focused dietary enhancement. Whether your preferences lean toward meat, fish, eggs, or entirely plant-derived provisions, the commitment to securing adequate daily protein must become non-negotiable. By establishing this dietary commitment, you are actively choosing a future where your legs, and indeed your entire physical being, remain strong, adaptable, and resilient against the pressures of chronological aging. More profoundly, this commitment directly protects your autonomy and enhances your capacity to engage fully with all the activities that infuse your life with joy and meaning. You inherently deserve to experience each succeeding day imbued with energy, a sense of happiness, and the unburdened freedom to pursue what you genuinely love. Therefore, commit to nourishing your body intelligently with high-quality protein, practice diligent self-care, and hold the conviction that the best chapters of your life story are still being written. Food number 2, omega-3 fatty acids. As we undertake the grand expedition through the trajectory of life, the process of maturation is inevitably accompanied by the subtle, cumulative toll of physical wear and tear on our biological machinery. Yet, it is often the quiet, almost imperceptible shifts in our underlying health and functional capacity that can catch us most unprepared. One of the most significant and frequently undervalued areas requiring dedicated attention during aging is the crucial maintenance of our intrinsic physical strength and fluid mobility. For an increasing number of individuals, the simple execution of daily routines, such as rising from a prone position or managing an ascent up a set of stairs, begins to present noticeable degrees of difficulty as the years accumulate. It is widely acknowledged that the triad of joint pain, chronic stiffness, and generalized muscular discomfort frequently surfaces as a common hurdle in the later stages of life. This is precisely where the introduction and consistent intake of omega-3 fatty acids become paramount, a nutrient class that acts as a potent ally in modulating how we age, fundamentally supporting the preservation of strong legs and optimally functioning joints. Omega-3s are significantly more consequential than merely a fleeting health fad. They are fundamentally necessary components for the long-term structural integrity of our bodies, with benefits amplified immensely as we age. Through study and experience, I have personally come to deeply appreciate the indispensable role these particular healthy fats play, not only in effectively reining in systemic inflammation, but also in actively promoting the flexibility and fluidity required for sustained mobility. Learning about the mechanisms through which omega-3s operate felt akin to uncovering a vital, hidden mechanism designed to counteract the deleterious effects of time, thus ensuring my ability to remain active and mobile for the longest possible duration. As the aging process advances, the body inherently becomes more susceptible to chronic, low-grade systemic inflammation, a condition often simmering beneath the surface without obvious symptoms. This insidious inflammatory state is a major causative factor in the development and exacerbation of painful conditions such as various forms of arthritis, pervasive joint rigidity, and debilitating muscle fatigue. These ongoing inflammatory cascades can collectively drain our energy reserves, leave us feeling perpetually achy, and occasionally instill a sense of defeat when facing physical tasks. The true, remarkable value of omega-3s resides in their demonstrable anti-inflammatory action. By targeting and helping to reduce the inflammation that aggregates within the sensitive joint tissues and muscle fibers, omega-3s can deliver meaningful mitigation of the discomfort and stiffness that can transform even the most trivial daily activities into arduous endeavors. In my own direct experience, I have observed that making incremental but consistent dietary shifts, such as prioritizing foods rich in omega-3s, yielded benefits that extended beyond mere physical movement. I also noted improvements in cognitive sharpness and a general uplift in overall sense of well-being. What grants omega-3s their superior efficacy is their biological capacity to actively intervene in and temper the chronic inflammation that characteristically afflicts the aging human body. Inflammation is the silent saboteur implicated in a vast array of age-related pathologies, ranging from arthritic conditions to the acceleration of muscle loss, and it has the capacity to severely compromise the inherent strength and foundational vitality of our legs. It is one of those stealthy biological processes that can slowly erode our ability to move freely, until one day we might find ourselves significantly restricted from performing the movements we once executed without a second thought. The specific long-chain omega-3s, eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, function by intervening in the cellular signaling pathways, thereby helping to regulate and actively diminish this inflammatory response. This intervention allows the joints to glide with greater ease and the surrounding muscles to experience reduced soreness and tension. Omega-3s are so effective at modulating the inflammatory response that they can offer genuinely beneficial, natural relief to individuals grappling with chronic conditions like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis, leading to tangible improvements in overall joint mechanics and range of motion. An equally impressive benefit derived from sufficient omega-3 intake is its documented role in supporting the body's endogenous production of collagen. Collagen is the most abundant structural protein in the human body and is absolutely critical for maintaining the structural scaffolding, flexibility, and tensile strength of our joints, tendons, and ligaments. As the aging process progresses, the body's ability to synthesize new collagen naturally diminishes, a primary driver behind the increasing stiffness, reduced elasticity, and ensuing pain experienced in the joints of older adults. By promoting healthier collagen synthesis, omega-3s actively help to preserve the structural integrity and pliability of these connective tissues, granting us a healthier, more accessible range of motion with a marked reduction in the associated discomfort. For seniors, this translates into something far more substantial than fleeting relief. It signifies a sustainable ability to move through life with ease, to bend, to stretch, to walk without the constant impedance of pain, and to fully partake in the everyday activities that enrich existence. Whether the goal is enjoying a brisk walk through a familiar park, actively engaging with grandchildren, or simply achieving a comfortable, pain-free vertical posture, the benefits conferred by adequate omega-3s are potentially transformative for the quality of later life. So the practical question becomes, from which specific food sources can we best source these critical omega-3s? Fatty, cold water fish, such as salmon, mackerel, herring, and sardines, represent the apex sources of omega-3s, being exceptionally rich in EPA and DHA, which are scientifically recognized as the most bioavailable and effective forms of these fatty acids for human utilization. These oceanic provisions are not merely delightful to the palate, but are extraordinarily dense in nutrition, offering a spectrum of systemic health advantages extending well beyond the scope of joint support. If the idea of consuming fish is unappealing to you, or if integrating sufficient quantities through dietary means proves challenging, despair not. An impressive array of plant-based alternatives exists. Seeds such as chia, flax, and hemp, alongside the versatile walnut, are all exceptional providers of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, the plant-derived precursor to omega-3s, which can be effortlessly incorporated into numerous meals and snacks. These plant-based champions are not only wonderfully adaptable in the kitchen, but also represent an excellent nutritional choice for vegetarians and vegans seeking to harness the systemic benefits of the omega-3 family. Integrating omega-3 rich provisions into your daily eating habits is surprisingly simple and, frankly, can be genuinely pleasurable. These nutrient-dense items lend themselves to a multitude of preparations. For example, one can easily construct a robust salmon salad by lightly grilling or baking a fresh fillet, placing it atop a generous bed of mixed leafy greens, and dressing it simply with a drizzle of quality olive oil and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. This single meal provides a powerful dose of omega-3s alongside crucial vitamins, minerals, and protective antioxidants vital for holistic health maintenance. As a satisfying intermediate energy boost, I personally favor incorporating a tablespoon of chia seeds into my morning yogurt or bowl of oatmeal. The seeds introduce a pleasant textural element while simultaneously delivering a healthy, substantial measure of omega-3s. Another superb morning adaptation is the preparation of chia seed pudding, achieved by soaking the seeds overnight in a liquid like almond milk, then topping the resulting gel-like substance with fresh berries or chopped nuts for a naturally sweetened omega-3 fortified breakfast experience. For individuals who face significant difficulty in consistently consuming therapeutic levels of omega-3s through their food intake alone, high-quality supplements, whether derived from fish oil or algae oil for vegetarians, offer a highly effective alternative. These are commonly available in convenient soft gel capsule form or as a liquid emulsion, providing an easy and reliable method for boosting systemic omega-3 levels. However, a critical piece of counsel is always necessary. Before commencing any new supplement regimen, it is prudent to consult with your attending healthcare professional to confirm its suitability relative to your individual health profile and current medication landscape. Furthermore, when actively increasing omega-3 intake, it is essential to maintain awareness of the delicate balance between omega-3s and their counterpart, omega-6 fatty acids. While both categories are biologically essential for human function, the prevailing Western dietary pattern is often drastically skewed, featuring an overwhelming excess of omega-6s relative to omega-3s, a disparity known to promote increased inflammation when omega-6s dominate. By intentionally focusing on increasing the intake of omega-3 rich sources, you actively assist your body in restoring a more favorable anti-inflammatory balance conducive to overall systemic well-being. Omega-3 fatty acids present an exceptionally straightforward and palatable means of actively promoting joint resilience, naturally suppressing inflammatory processes, and supporting the structural strength of the muscles in our lower body as we mature. The magnitude of the positive effect these essential fats can exert on our capacity for physical activity is truly noteworthy. Whether you opt for a portion of wild-caught salmon for your evening meal or integrate a handful of walnuts as an afternoon snack, the conscious inclusion of omega-3s is a proactive investment in remaining physically engaged, pain-managed, and vibrantly energetic throughout your later later years. As we consciously choose to meet the inevitable challenges of growing older with preparedness, embracing omega-3s is one of the profound gifts we can bestow upon ourselves, ensuring that our legs remain powerfully supportive and our bodies continue to move with inherent grace and unimpeded freedom. It is a minor dietary adjustment that, over time, can yield a monumental difference in functional quality of life. Food number 3, vitamin D and calcium-rich foods. As we progress along the fascinating and at times demanding continuum of human aging, there arises an undeniable imperative to adopt a more rigorous, thoughtful approach to bodily maintenance, focusing intensely on the critical relationship between our skeletal framework and our musculature. There exists a profound biochemically intricate nexus between the specific nutrients we ingest and the long-term health, density, and functional capacity of both our bones and our muscles. Among the vast array of dietary elements, 2 nutrients ascend to a position of supreme synergistic importance in this domain: calcium and vitamin D. These 2 components accomplish far more than simply allowing us to maintain an upright posture. They collectively form the indispensable bedrock of our mobility, our inherent physical strength, and the self-governance we depend upon as we age. The inevitable biological reality we must confront is that, commencing in middle age, our skeletal structure begins a predictable, gradual deceleration in its bone density maintenance efforts, leading to bones that become inherently more brittle, less resilient, and alarmingly susceptible to fracture. The onset of conditions like clinical osteoporosis represents a significant silent threat, leaving the aging individual highly vulnerable to bone breaks that can drastically and permanently curtail both mobility and the overall quality of life. This is the precise juncture where the well-understood yet often underutilized partnership between calcium and vitamin D becomes nothing short of miraculous in action. These nutrients engage in a vital collaboration designed to staunch the loss of bone density and optimize muscle performance. They serve as our primary line of defense, offering the structural support and functional capacity required to remain active, physically resilient, and empowered as we navigate the milestones of advancing age. It is genuinely astonishing to observe the precise mechanics of their cooperative action within the body. Calcium is fundamentally recognized as the primary mineral building block, the very substance responsible for conferring strength and structural rigidity upon our skeletal system. Without a consistent supply of dietary calcium, our bones are literally starved of the material needed for maintenance, resulting in structural weakening. However, the critical caveat is that calcium in isolation is woefully insufficient for maximum benefit. We require vitamin D to act as the mandatory gatekeeper, the catalyst that governs and maximizes the efficiency with which our digestive system can absorb that vital ingested calcium. To conceptualize this interaction, picture the task of erecting a complex brick structure. One might possess thousands of bricks, the calcium, but without the binding agent, the mortar, the structure cannot cohere or stand firm. Vitamin D serves precisely as this essential functional mortar, ensuring that the calcium we consume is successfully integrated into the bone matrix rather than being unnecessarily excreted. I often reflect on the pervasive difficulty many older adults face in achieving adequate vitamin D levels. This particular nutrient is disproportionately important for the senior population because it executes an equally critical function in supporting direct muscle contractility and overall muscle function. A deficit in vitamin D, even if one is consuming sufficient quantities of calcium, leads to a systemic failure in utilization. The body simply cannot deploy the calcium effectively. The cascading consequence of insufficient vitamin D is not restricted to weaker bone mineral density. It significantly elevates the risk of developing muscular weakness, myopathy, which directly correlates with a loss of balance, increased instability, and an unfortunately higher probability of experiencing debilitating falls. Falls represent one of the most terrifying and devastating realities faced by the elderly population, being a leading cause of life-altering injury. Vitamin D, by fortifying muscle strength and stability, particularly in the major load-bearing muscles of the legs, offers a crucial layer of protective assurance. The role of vitamin D in optimizing muscular performance cannot be overstated. It is a genuine paradigm shift in terms of maintaining steadfast balance, security, and the ability to engage actively in life. Without it, we risk finding even basic acts like walking or ascending steps becoming disproportionately challenging, let alone participating in more vigorous, enjoyable activities. I am keenly aware that many seniors struggle to derive sufficient vitamin D from solar exposure, a challenge exacerbated by factors like reduced time spent outdoors due to mobility limitations or residence in geographical areas plagued by protracted periods of limited sunlight. Furthermore, the body's inherent biological capacity to synthesize vitamin D directly from sunlight significantly diminishes with age. This environmental and physiological reality underscores the immense importance of deliberately incorporating foods rich in both vitamin D and calcium into our established daily nutritional patterns. These nutrients function as a lifeline, supplying the foundational strength and stability necessary to continue living life on one's own terms, regardless of the typical adversities associated with the passage of time. Regarding the sourcing of calcium, we are fortunate as it is abundantly available in many universally recognized and palatable food sources. The dairy sector, encompassing milk, yogurt, and various cheeses, remains one of the most concentrated and reliable sources of highly bioavailable calcium. These items are not only pleasurable to consume, but offer an incredibly straightforward avenue for ensuring daily calcium targets are met. For those managing lactose intolerance or adhering to a dairy-free lifestyle, numerous excellent alternatives exist. Many commercially available plant-based beverages, such as almond, soy, or oat milks, are specifically fortified with calcium, offering a nutritional profile comparable to dairy without the lactose content. This represents a fantastic solution for maintaining dietary balance while respecting specific aversions. Moreover, dark leafy greens, including kale, bok choy, and collard greens, are powerful, nutrient-dense sources of calcium, alongside a wealth of complementary vitamins and minerals that support overall systemic health. Allow me to pause briefly and ask again for your engagement. If the depth of this discussion has held your attention and provided clear takeaways, please comment the number 1 below, indicating your continued presence and interest. Now, we must address the nutritional challenge posed by vitamin D. It is not as universally abundant in food sources as calcium is. While fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and tuna are indeed superior sources of vitamin D, a significant portion of the population still struggles to reach optimal intake levels through fish consumption alone. Egg yolks and calcium-fortified dairy products can contribute, but if these are not consumed regularly, dietary shortfalls are likely. This explains why supplementation with vitamin D becomes a necessary strategy for so many older adults, especially if they are unable to maximize sun exposure. Fortified breakfast cereals, fortified juices, and plant milks can assist in boosting intake, but even with these additions, achieving consistently ideal blood levels can prove difficult without some form of directed support. For those whose lifestyles or geography preclude adequate sun exposure or dietary intake, vitamin D supplements represent an invaluable, scientifically validated tool. Naturally, as with any supplement, consulting with a healthcare practitioner prior to initiation is the wisest course of action to establish the correct, individualized dosage. However, vitamin D supplements, particularly those containing the D3 form, are demonstrably effective at raising circulating levels in the blood. D3 is considered the most biologically active form for human use. If you are currently struggling to maintain sufficient vitamin D status, a quality supplement could be the precise intervention needed to keep your bones, muscles, and overall physiological systems operating at peak efficiency. Integrating these essential nutrients into the daily routine is remarkably straightforward to plan. Commencing the day with a warm bowl of fortified oatmeal, layered with fresh fruit and accompanied by a glass of calcium and defortified orange juice, delivers a potent, synergistic, nutritional charge right at the start of your day. At lunchtime, lean toward a vibrant salad featuring nutrient-dense greens like kale or spinach, enhanced with a serving of cheese or fortified yogurt as a flavorful topping. A simple snack, such as a small handful of almonds or a serving of plain yogurt, can efficiently deliver additional calcium and beneficial fats. For the evening, consider a meal featuring salmon or another oily fish, paired alongside a generous portion of steamed broccoli or sautéed kale, foods that are not only savory, but dense with the requisite nutritional building blocks. If your dietary preference leans heavily toward plant-based preparations, tofu, especially calcium-set varieties, and fortified plant milks serve as excellent substitutes for boosting both calcium and vitamin D intake simultaneously. It is vital to internalize that the goal transcends mere calcium and vitamin D consumption. The objective is establishing a robust physical foundation for a future defined by sustained independence, continuous activity, and the profound ability to enjoy the myriad experiences life offers. Strong bones and robust muscles are the enablers of sustained movement, the preservers of agency, and the best defense against the limitations that aging can impose. Whether achieved through diligent dairy intake, consumption of dark greens, reliance on fortified products, or judicious supplementation, making these core nutrients a non-negotiable element of your daily intake is the most potent investment you can make in securing your long-term physiological well-being. The future remains immensely promising, and by fueling your body intelligently, you ensure that your legs will remain firm, steady, and fully prepared to support you through every forthcoming phase of life. As we conclude this segment, I sincerely hope you have absorbed valuable knowledge regarding the critical importance of calcium and vitamin D in fortifying bone health, optimizing muscle function, and securing the strength of your lower limbs as the years advance. From understanding their cooperative biological mechanism for fracture prevention to identifying simple, appealing ways to integrate them into daily meals, you possess actionable knowledge to take direct control of your long-term physical capacity. Now, I genuinely wish to hear the impact of this information on you. What specific insight related to calcium, vitamin D, or the mechanics of healthy aging resonated most profoundly with you during this presentation? Please share just one concrete piece of knowledge you have gained today that you intend to implement starting tomorrow by writing it in the comments section below. If this video has provided you with genuine value, please honor that by leaving a positive comment, clicking the thumbs up icon, and sharing this vital health information with any friends, family members, or acquaintances who would benefit from strengthening their own foundational health. And without fail, please subscribe to this channel so you consistently receive future installments of research-backed advice designed to help you achieve a longer, more vigorous, and healthier life. Take the best possible care of yourself, and I look forward to sharing the next set of valuable lessons with you soon.